10 minutes later. Wait, does it seriously only take 10 minutes to get to the park? Huh, must have never thought about how long it takes. While I continue on the journey to Yuri's house, my mind becomes preoccupied on tomorrow. The festival. Mainly about everything that's gonna happen tomorrow. I know there was supposed to be performing tomorrow, but that still seems a bit scary. What if I end up embarrassing myself for the whole club? I don't think I'd be able to live with myself. No, stop. Don't think like that. Nothing too terribly bad is going to happen tomorrow. I'll just have to power through it, but I still don't know what to write for it. The anxiety in me builds up even more as I realize how much time I really have left before tomorrow, but it subsides after a moment or two of silence. Maybe I shouldn't worry about that right now. Hanging out with Yuri today is more important. Let's see how this turns out. Maybe being around her will give me an idea on what to write about. Thoughts, man. I still can't believe I'm going through with this crazy idea. This had better be worth it. After several more minutes of walking, I finally arrive at Yuri's house. A memory of a few days ago hits me when I walked her here after school once. Happily setting my bags down next to her front door, I pull out my phone to check the time. 11:58 a.m. All right, nice. Early it looks like. I hope she won't mind. Putting my phone away and knocking on her door 3 times, I stand still and wait for the door to open. A happy feeling inside me is starting to become erratic within this undetermined amount of time, just at the thought of being able to spend time with her again. I'm still not entirely sure what me and her are going to be doing today. How's she going to react to everything? The chocolate bar. What I have in store back. The door opens, which slightly catches me by surprise. I don't know why I said that is catches. It's catches. Once fully open, there she stands, but in a white t-shirt and light blue shirt over top, instead of her sweater I saw on the leg. I'm taken aback by how great it looks. How she looks. Oop, I was trying to... Yeah, there's the whole outfit. You can see it now.
Oh, hello, Hallie. I hope I didn't leave you waiting too long.
I literally just got here. No, I just got here. No worries. Hand goes to the back of my head out of nervousness as an awkward silence plays out between us.
I see you brought what I told you about.
I did. Her gentle smile never leaves. May I come in?
Oh, of course.
As she continues to hold the door open, I take a hold of my bags that were on the ground in her house. Her house. I cannot talk anymore. As she closes the door and I take my shoes off, I take note of the inside of her house and can't help but be amazed at how clean everything is. Didn't she say something about being a neat freak the other day?
Hallie?
Huh? Oh, yes? She's standing in her kitchen. This confuses me, as I would have expected her to be heading towards her bedroom or living room or something for us to work on the project.
How about we make some tea before we start making the decorations?
Oh my god, yes. I don't even dare try hiding my happiness from her. That sounds great! She smiles warmly at me.
Very well then. I'll get everything ready.
As Yuri starts to prepare our tea by taking a teapot and filling it with water, I take a seat on the couch in her living room. The smell of popcorn throws me off guard a bit, but it's nothing too bad. Opening up my backpack, I pull out the chocolate bar and look at it for a bit. I had originally planned on sharing this with her, but I have an even stupider idea. Oh god, chocolate bar in hand, I get up from the couch and walk over to the kitchen to see what she's preparing the tea bags for when the water is all done. Wait. And walk over to the kitchen to see that she's preparing the tea bags. Okay, I saw it as what, and that sentence didn't make sense to me. Placing the chocolate behind my back so that she doesn't see, I quietly walk up to her until I'm in her vision. Once she looks over to me and we make eye contact, she stops what she's doing yet doesn't say anything. Looks like I have to get the ball rolling. Presenting the chocolate bar that I've been hiding from her, I purposely try to make myself sound a little more cute than usual. Look what I found on the moon! She just stands there and stares at it for a moment like she has no clue what to think of it. I'm starting to wonder if this really was a good idea. After a moment, she takes it from my hands and inspects it.
I didn't know they had my favorite brand there.
I'll admit, this is a different one from what I bought at the vending machine the other day, but I have no clue whether she's being dead serious or playing along with me. She then starts tearing off the wrapper, breaks off a piece, and eats it. A small smile creeps onto her face.
You didn't have to bring me something. I really appreciate it, though.
Her words and her smile make me blush a bit. I I thought me and you could share it. I think she's starting to blush too.
Oh, how thoughtful of you.
My hands go behind my back. I suppose.
Oh, the water's boiling.
Huh? A weird bubbling sound tears me away from her gaze as I look over to the stovetop. Ah, I guess she was right. I take a big step away from her stove. You know what to do. Without saying a word, Yuri walks over to her stove and turns off the correct burner so that the flame and water dies down. After observing everything with my hands behind my back, I look back at her nervously, now feeling a bit guilty for getting in her way. Sorry if I got in the way just now. She puts on a smile that makes me not worry so much.
No, you're fine. Thank you again.
I lightly nod at her. Of course. I then step away from her and out of the kitchen, so there's no possible way I'll be a bother to her. But something rather important comes to mind. Hey, yeah. Stopping myself by taking a look at what she's doing, it looks like she's still trying to prepare the tea for us. I feel like that one was supposed to auto-advance, but I would hit the click to make it go. Something tells me that if I were her, I wouldn't like it if my concentration was broken by someone trying to get my attention. I'll be considerate and wait on the couch for her to be all alone. All done. Oh my god. What is wrong with me right now? A minute passes, and she's now pouring tea for the both of us in glass cups. She even went as far as to put both cups on a metal tray. Just the sight of her walking over to me with the tray in both hands. I don't know, there's something special about it. It's almost like how she was a few days ago in the club when she was preparing tea for everyone. She's now sitting across from me, setting the tray down on the coffee table we're at. Believe it or not, she even went as far as to put the rest of the chocolate bar on the tray. This reminds me of a few days ago in the club when me and her were at her desk and she was explaining the whole adjective-adverb thing to me. This makes me feel really happy. Reaching over to my left to grab one of the cups, it looks like she had the same idea as our hands bump into each other. This stuns the both of us for a bit as I quickly retract my hand away from hers out of nervousness. The room is silent as we both seemingly don't know what to do, but the silence is broken by Yuri, who looks a little apprehensive.
Go ahead.
Why aren't I moving at all? She told me to go. Oh, I think I know why. Ladies first. A smile with a comparable dumb style to mine shows up on her face, as I keep my hands to myself. She grabs her cup, then I grab mine. There, no problems. We both take a sip at the same time. I love this warm feeling that comes from this. The taste is rather mild, which makes everything more pleasant. The smile on my face becomes a little more dumb than hers at how this makes me feel. After a moment of bliss between the two of us, I remember what I wanted to bug her about in the first place. Oh yeah, that reminds me.
Oh?
I've been meaning to ask, where are we going to make the decorations? In here or in your room? She seems to ponder that thought for a while, remaining silent all throughout with the occasional tea between me and her.
Would my room be fine?
Yeah, I've got no problem with that.
Very well then. I will be bringing the tea set into my room for the first project we'll do.
I'm left speechless. What does she plan on doing with that? It'll be a surprise to me, that's for sure. She then gets up from where she's sitting. That one went on its own for reasons unknown. Wait. Oh no, it was just continuing. Sorry, the text box fooled me. Walks into her kitchen, grabs the teapot, several tea bags, and some newspaper. I'm left with even more questions as we're making our way towards Yuri's room. On the way there, her thermostat grabs my attention for whatever reason. Looking at it shows 68 Fahrenheit. That's really cold. I would be freezing at that temperature. My apartment is regularly 5 degrees higher than that. Yep, can confirm that she keeps her AC off. I would hope so. It's October. Oh well. Upon entering her room, the first thing that catches my attention is the giant rolled-up paper sitting in the corner of her room. Yuri, on the other hand, sets the tray on the floor, places 2 tea bags in each of our cups from earlier, pours hot water in them, and lays down the newspaper so it covers most of her floor. I still have no clue what's going on.
There, that's settled. Let's get started.
It is after hearing that when I realize I'm still standing in the doorway. Pardon me, had to cough. Yeah, we probably should. Making sure to gently close her door as not to disturb anything, I then find a spot close to her bed and sit cross-legged on the floor. It would have been nice if her floor was carpet instead of linoleum, as my feet are now cold, but I'll live. I guess you could interpret that floor as linoleum, but that seems a little strange. Like, it doesn't really have any texture to it, but it would be very peculiar for a home to have linoleum.
So, I have a few things planned that we could assemble together.
Oh? What did you have in mind?
Decorations and some atmospheric enhancements for the room.
Okay. I kinda had an idea that we were gonna be making stuff, considering what she made me buy and all, but what else she said is throwing me for a loop. I raised an eyebrow at her out of curiosity. Why last one? Or why that last one?
Well, having candles lit in the room would create a unique atmosphere, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, she does have a good point. Yeah, that's right.
Here, let me show you.
She gets up. Candle. Text boxes. Grabs a candle she has on her nightstand, along with a lighter, and places it on the floor between us. I can see what's happening here. This is multiple text boxes going by, and it's breaking and recreating the previous text box so that more animations can happen in between. At least I'm pretty sure that's what's happening. But man, does that make a wonky experience. Silently observing her sitting down and lighting it, I try to make out what the name of on the candle says. White Jasmine. It takes a while, but her room starts to smell better. This goes almost hand in hand with the relaxing feeling from tea earlier.
There. Now imagine 3 or 4 of these in the classroom. Don't you think that would make our guests feel more at home?
It's already working. Definitely.
Now, Hallie, another thing. What do you think of putting black paper over the windows with all 4 candles being lit at the same time?
The thought of that runs through my mind as I try to picture how the room would look, and... well, I'll be honest, having the room be nearly pitch black sounded scary at first. But since you mentioned candles being lit, it doesn't sound too bad. I don't know how thick you'd have to make that paper to have it block out all light. She looks confused.
Scary? What about that seems scary?
Just being in a room full of our classmates with it being pitch black? Anything can happen. To my surprise, Yuri scoots closer to me and places a hand on my shoulder. Her smile makes me feel more at ease.
Hallie, there would be no need to worry. All of us would be here in case anything bad happened.
I don't know what to say back. Looking into her eyes interrupts every possible response that comes to mind. All I can do is smile back. After a while, her hands return to herself, and her smile slowly fades away. What could she be thinking about?
Hallie?
Oh, I guess it's time. She looks away slightly before speaking.
Did you watch the opera last night?
I nod. I did. What about you? She still isn't meeting my gaze.
I did, but how did it end?
Wait, you didn't watch the end of it? How come? She takes a moment to breathe in and out. Gotta be patient with her.
I fell asleep towards the end.
She fell asleep. Well, she didn't judge me at all when I fell asleep in the classroom 2 days ago. I shouldn't judge her. I understand. Yeah, Draco ended up winning the duel after all. That part where he was cornered really got me nervous. It's no wonder why I couldn't watch the rest of it when I was a kid. At one point in time while I was talking, I noticed Yuri's expression returning to a happy, more relaxed one. Did hearing that really make her that happy?
Well, that's a relief. I'm glad it ended that way.
I nod again. Me too. Something important comes to mind. Yuri?
Yes, Hallie?
Her tone of voice is as pleasant as it should be, but there are more important matters at hand. We haven't started making decorations yet.
You're right. We'd better get started.
She then gets up from the floor and walks to the corner of her room while I remain sitting. What's the first plan of action? She grabs the giant piece of paper in the corner along with some spools of ribbon and lays it down on the newspaper in front of us.
Well, we're going to be tea-staining this big piece of paper as it will be used for the banner we're making. Despite Natsuki bringing in cupcakes, I want the banner to be one of the first things that our guests see when they enter the room.
Oh my god, that's an amazing idea. But that doesn't explain the newspaper, though. I end up pointing at it out of response, to which she looks down.
Oh, it's so we don't make a huge mess on the floor.
I can feel a light bulb click on in my head. And also, that seems like it would have been the obvious reason why you put newspaper down. That's actually kind of clever. I like that. Yuri beams. The first thing they see. Isn't the first thing most people see a door instead of a wall? A door. First thing they see. Looking over at the spools of ribbon on the floor, the gears in my head start turning. An amazing idea comes to mind that I have to share with her. Hey, Yuri, I have a good idea. She looks at me curiously.
Oh? What is it?
The first thing people would see would be the door, right? Do we have any extra paper lying around here?
What does the door and paper have to do with each other?
I grab one of the spools of ribbon to help demonstrate my idea to her. Take some paper, write some stuff on it, tape it to the ribbon, put ribbon on top of, the doorway, I guess, and there you go! First thing people see! Another silence plays out between us as Yuri seems to be deep in thought. I don't remember the last time I spoke like that in a while.
That just might work.
Even if it's as simple as I start counting my fingers to think of how many letters welcome has. 7 ribbons that spell out welcome, I think that would catch people's attention.
I like that idea, but I think we should save that until after we stain the banner paper first. It will take a while to dry after all.
Knocking out 2 stones with 1 bird, I like it. Well, I can't argue with that. You'll have to show me how it's done. I've never seen this before.
Of course.
That being said, she carefully hands me one of the teacups. Looking at it shows the water is a much darker color than I'm used to. This might not be safe to drink. Don't do it. Next, she positions the paper so that it's perfectly in front of us.
Watch carefully, okay?
Right. She removes both tea bags from her cup, takes one in her hand, and presses it against the paper, and brings it downwards, almost like she's handling a paintbrush. And sure enough, the area of paper that was covered is now a different color. That looks much easier than I thought it would be. Hey, that doesn't look too hard. How did you find out about this?
I overheard one of the art teachers talking about this and, well, there was more text there. I clicked it again, dang it. I couldn't help but eavesdrop.
Pretty sneaky, I suppose. Heh, not bad.
Should I
start doing the same with my side?
Yes, please. Once we both get our sides done, we'll have to flip the paper over and do the other side.
I happily nodded her. Not a problem. Following her example, I try my hand with my respective tea bag, and it's just as easy as she showed me. This shouldn't take long at all. And there we go, all done! Me and her finish our sides around the same time. Yuri looks over to inspect my work.
Good work so far. I knew you'd pick up on this quickly.
I mean, this wasn't really that hard. Either way, I can't help but think about how cute she's being. I must have been too distracted or something, as I didn't even notice that she flipped the paper around on us. She then dips her tea bag in her tea paint and begins her work again. I should probably do the same. After a moment or so of working, something else comes to mind. Hey, Yuri.
What is it?
This kind of reminds me of back when I was a kid, when my mom would help with any art projects I had. She gives me another warm smile.
That's sweet. But I hope this doesn't feel too childish.
Oh no, not at all. It just reminded me of happy times. Yuri stops painting for a moment, whereas I keep up with my side.
That makes me happy. I'm glad you were able to come over and help me with this. I probably would have been here all day had you not been able to,
The pleasure's all mine. Besides, it feels nice to help a friend out, even if it's just the simple things. Yuri resumes painting with her smile intact.
It certainly does.
Before I know it, I've already finished what I assume is my half. There wasn't an imaginary line drawn to equally divide this paper, so I can only guess. Sitting back to take a breather and inspect my work, it doesn't take long for Yuri to finish her respective side. All done, I'm guessing?
Yes, all finished.
She says that as she's taking care of the teacups and tea bags. So what's next is the door paper idea I had.
Ah yes, the door curtain.
Once she's done with taking care of her stuff, she looks over to her closet.
Hang on, I think I have some origami paper and a marker in here somewhere.
Sure thing. She gets up and starts rummaging around in her closet. A part of me is surprised that she doesn't have this in her bag, and another part of me has to remember that she told me she's not a hoarder. I probably shouldn't be watching her, but my eyes land on her harp that's in her closet. I haven't thought of that in quite a while. Oh, maybe I'll ask if she could play something. Once she grabs the paper and marker, she then walks over towards her bed and grabs 2 knives from a display rack on the wall. Wait, what?